The most important thing right now is to put my watch in front of my face. I thank Rabbi Creditor for the opportunity to share these words with you this morning. And I want to tell you a Channukah story. In August of 1968, I came to Israel for the first time, to my third out of 5 years of undergraduate study. I lived in the seminary building called Neve Shechter. Head of our studies was Dr. Shammai Friedman, and the person who ran the building and our program was Yaakov Panini, may he rest in peace. He was a multi-generation Jerusalemite. He himself fought in the Israel Independence War in 1948, the Mifrat Sinai, the War of 1956, which most people forget, the Six-Day War in 1967, and I now am in Israel 1 year and 3 months later after that war, which I know for, if I look around the room with younger people here, that's ancient history, but needs to be remembered. That Channukah, first night of Channukah, Yaakov organized a caravan of several cars. I didn't know that there were guns in the cars, and we traveled straight north out of Jerusalem on unlit road. It is not the area of today. And we went to an army base north of Jerusalem. It was a dark, cold, drizzly night. And we, the students from the seminary, with Yaakov, came to the military base called Bethel. Jacob's dream, you put the rock, it's Bethel. And we go to the dining room, we have a little repast, I have no recollection of that. We come out to the square, and the entire base is there assembled. I am looking at members of the IDF who are my age, I'm 20, young men, who perhaps they fought 1 year, 3 months ago in the Six-Day War to save Israel. Maybe their fathers, their grandfathers, they are ramrod straight in this very cold and dark night. And they have a giant menorah, not with a light bulb, not with candles, not with oil, but with torches, big torches. And they have the army choir there. And they chant the blessings for the brachot, all three. It's the first night of Channukah. And then the army choir sings Hanerot Halalu and some other music, not the Channukah ditties that you and I grew up with. And then steps forward the chief rabbi of the Israel army, Shlomo Goren, a man about my height, but pudgy, salt and pepper, bushy beard. I'm glad that by that point in time, my oral understanding of Hebrew had really ramped up, so I could understand him. And he looks at the troops, not us, we're off to the side, and he says to them, Atem ha-Maccabees. You are the Maccabees. These young troops, they understood exactly what he meant. He said to them, without having to say it, that there was a bloodline that went directly from Mattathias and Judah and John and Yonatan and Elazar and Shimon. Mattathias and his sons, who fought not for theologies and philosophies, they fought to preserve the existence of the Jewish people, that they would not be swallowed up and disappeared from the pages of history. And there were few that went to stand that way, but Mattathias and his family did. And these soldiers standing there, 15 months after the Six-Day War, when again the Jewish people was threatened with extinction, They didn't flinch. They understood the message. And that from Mattathias to them was a line of people who stood to be Maccabees in their own time and place, in one way or another, to fight the Romans once, to fight the Romans twice, to create a Jewish society in the diaspora, to survive the expulsion from Spain and the destruction of the glorious civilization, and continue to build a Judaism that would reach to Bethel and to fight in the Warsaw Ghetto and the other places of the uprising against an insurmountable enemy of the time. And to be the Haganah, not IDF. Before the IDF is the Haganah. And with them was the Palmach, Plugot Mechi, who fought during the 20s and 30s and 40s to save the small, tiny Jewish community of Eretz Yisrael of the time. And then against insurmountable odds, seemingly, in 48. And again against Nasser's army, they understood that that line of being Maccabees stretched to them standing there, and we felt that then standing there with them. And that line of being Maccabees to fight for the existence of Am Yisrael has never stopped. From 73 and through all the episodes ever after, to last Sunday on the beach of Bondi, and to us. For we too have the opportunity and the obligation to be Maccabees in our own ways whenever we can. To make sure that the Channukah menorah we light is in the window. So our neighbors, it's not going to rival the Christmas lights. I'm not trying to. But they know when they go past our corner that there's a menorah in that window. And everybody on our blocks know that is. That's what we need to do. When I walk into a room with the whitest yarmulke I can get, they know that we are there. Not me. We are there. That's how we can be Maccabees in our own ways, in our own time. But we are indelibly stitched to Mattathias and to those who have fought ever after, that we could be here today and never take that for granted and never have our hands slack from the reins of holding on to our destiny. When you look at the menorah, I want you to hear Shlomo Goren's voice from Bethel, which is only a stone's throw from Modi'in, where all this began. And hear him say to the troops, Atem ha-Maccabim, you are the Maccabees, and we are too. Shabbat Shalom.